So, welcome to tonight's call. It is Sunday, June 7th. Congratulations for being here and listening in. This is our first call for the month of June. So, I want to quickly go over what June is about as coach. So, for now, our promotion this month is the 21-day fix for anyone that doesn't know, and that is $140 for the challenge pack or $180 for the Kickstart challenge pack. And for $140, they're getting a workout plan, a workout DVDs that they can keep forever, a whole month of Shakeology, a meal planning guide that's theirs to keep forever, and the portion control containers that are theirs to keep forever. It's a pretty unbeatable promo for me. I know for personally, whenever I have people that during this month, every time the fix is on sale, I have people come out of the woodwork because it's just people's favorite program. So with that being said, it's definitely fun to showcase 21-day fix approved meals if you have the program. It's fun to showcase the moves. You can tease the cookbook that's coming out. And for those of you that didn't see on Autumn's page, she is releasing a cookbook called Fixate next month with 121-day fix approved recipes that have the breakdown of containers per meal, which is super nice because a lot of times one of the biggest things people ask for is new fun recipes that their whole family can eat. Like a lot of people want casserole 21-day fix recipes and that kind of stuff. So that's a huge deal. And then the Kickstart is pretty amazing because you're getting a month of Shakeology and a 3-day refresh and the program for basically the cost of Shakeology and the program $10 off. It's like a free refresh in my mind. So that's really nice. And if you have somebody, signing up that's going to be a coach and they don't want the reset or the refresh, I do a giveaway in some of my challenge groups, and people can participate in things for an entry to win. And then at the end, whoever participated in the most wins the refresh. That's super fun because it keeps people motivated, and it's an HT order. So for one of our, open business centers that my husband and I have, we can use that to keep it active. So that's super nice, and people love it. So with that being said, tonight I want to talk about this month is all about tracking, and it's all about, knowing where we are and where we want to go. So, or this week and this month. So I want to talk about momentum because momentum is key in this business. And sometimes there's ebbs and flows. There's going to be really high highs and really low lows. And it's totally normal for someone that's been in this business 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years to think, am I cut out for this? Am I really going to make this work? I feel like I grind and I'm growing so slow, but working so hard. And the thing about our business sometimes is that at the beginning, you really work a lot for very little. At least it feels that way. And then later, we're all going to be able to work very little for a very, very much more than we're working for now. So it's about getting over those humps and rolling with momentum when you do have it, because we all know, I'm a science nerd, so you know that a force in motion tends to stay in motion. And that's kind of like this business. When you stop, it's hard to start again. So when you get in your invite groove, when you get in your posting groove, it's easy to stay on. And then if you have a weekend off, you might think, I have to get back to it. It's so hard. It's so much easier not to invite than it is to invite. And the truth is, and I've said this a million times before, the things that are easy to do are just as easy not to do. So it's about keeping yourself focused and on track. So I have a few tips to go over to keep your momentum when you do have it and how to get it. So first of all, momentum isn't just going to show up at your doorstep. Some personal development writers call it Big Mo. He's not going to come knock on your door and say, hi, I'm here. you have to work for momentum, and it's that slow climb up a hill. So if it's those 3 daily invites that you're doing every day without fail, if it's your personal development, it's just 10 pages every day, and it's your workout that's just 30 minutes every day. If you're doing those things every day, all of a sudden momentum is going to hit you. But it's not going to happen unless you're putting that work in. And I'll use a recent example. In my sharing the Ultimate Reset journey, I'm riding a huge momentum wave right now. My page has traction, and my invites over the past 6 months have been paying off. I have people coming to me that I haven't reignited that conversation, and they say, okay, I'm ready. So that will happen at times. And if I ride this, what's the word? Not selfishly, but if I take advantage of this wave and stop inviting, I promise you in about 2 months, I will hit a dry spell. And it's hard not to want to stop when you have people coming to you and you already hit Success Club. And it's like, oh, well, I don't need to do those now. But those are the times you really need to do it and refill that pipeline. I've given you guys that analogy before, that what you're building is an empty hollow tube, and every invite is another person in that tube, and it has to be totally full before they start to fall out the other end. If I let everybody fall out and then leave it empty, I'm screwed in a couple months. So being consistent is going to help build your momentum. And I'm going to read this just little quote from The Slight Edge from Jeff Olson. And it's talking about momentum. It's in the chapter it's chapter 9. And it's on page 130 of my paperback. And it says, you can be as impatient as you like, but it won't bother the slight edge. And the slight edge is the theory that small things over time add up. It's always moving at its own optimal speed, with or without your consent, whether you're aware of it moving or not. And what that means to me is your momentum can work against you if you're not inviting. It's going to keep, that slight edge is going to keep moving in whatever direction your actions are taking you. So with momentum, you have to harness that power, harness when it's rolling. And when it's not, you need to start putting in the work now so that later you'll have it. So when you have it, what are some things you can do? When you do have your momentum, you can continue to invite, number one. I'm driving that home. But the other things you can do are, one, share it with your team. Share your enthusiasm on your page. Share it on your team page. Share it on your personal page. Share the benefits that you're reaping, because people are going to be attracted to your success in those moments where you have that momentum. And the second thing is that you really want to remember what you did to get there. So do a lot of reflection when you're in your period of momentum, and know that you built that force. How did you do it? So if you have that ebb and flow happen again and you have a hard month, you can go back and say, okay, how did I get to the last time I was doing really great? And is this a dry month? Why? Is it because people are finishing school and they're very, very busy with their kids and my market is moms? Because that's okay and that's normal. Is it because I didn't invite last month as much as I should? Because I've been there. That was my March, because in February I really didn't invite this year. I was kind of slacking. And then, or what else? What other things did you do? Or what are you doing? So those little things, those reflective things when you're in that wave, are going to help you know how to get back there. So talking about tracking, if you're tracking your invites, you're going to be able to say, oh, 3 weeks ago, I stunk at inviting, and this week I'm having a hard time. Okay, so now you know. I need to make sure you can't go back, but you just keep moving forward. You could add a giveaway. You could add a 3-day refresh giveaway or something like that to build you back up. Another thing with your momentum and staying on track whenever it's good or bad, because when it's bad, it's really easy to quit. It's probably easier to quit when it's bad than it is when it's good, is to know what your goals are. So that's number 3, I would say, is know your goals. Put them in front of your face. Mine are right behind my screen right here. I have my 2015 goals and my positive affirmations. And then I have above me, when I look up, my 2015 goals. Or my June 2015 goals. So those are there. My monthly and my yearly are here. And I can just look up and say, okay, where am I and where do I need to be? I hit my success club goal for my business center already this month. And that's great. I made Success Club 10 and I qualified for leads, but I didn't sign the 3 coaches that I wanted to. I've only signed 0 this month. I've signed 1 this month. I need to sign 2 more for my business center to hit my goal. So that means that I can't stop inviting, whether it be from challenge groups to a discount coach opportunity, or it be new coaches to bring on. And we have our sneak peek that starts next week, so that's great for momentum too. But I still have to hit Bill's goal, our goal for Bill's Business Center. I still haven't written a single blog post. Whoa, need to get on that. But I'm being honest, because there are ebbs and flows with everything, right? But when you keep this, when you're in this period of momentum, you're doing this reflection and you're looking at your goals and you're tracking what you've done to get there, you're going to be able to say, okay, this is great. I could easily, for the rest of June, just focus on only my team, only helping you guys, and not worrying about my business center, not worrying about inviting. And that would pay off in the short term, but I wouldn't be, 1, setting the example and living what I'm preaching, but 2, my business would suffer later. So, when you're in a slump and you're thinking, okay, well, that's great for you, but I'm not in that right now. So what can I do to get there? A few things. 1, first and foremost, personal development. It sounds cheesy. People roll their eyes. I've been there. If you're reading something that's kind of like not exciting to you, maybe you need to put it down and switch it up. Get something that puts a little fire in your soul. I love John Maxwell. John C. Maxwell is a personal development author. He gets me excited. He has a ton of one-liners in there, like from other people, like quotes and different things that I will pull out and just stick with me for that day, and that's what keeps me going. So that's a really good one. If you feel like you're struggling in knowing the business, maybe you want to read something like GoPro, or what's it called? 7 Steps. I have it. I'll figure it. It's something about a network marketing guide. 7 Steps to Network Marketing or something like that. If you are struggling with daily behaviors, The Slight Edge and The Compound Effect, one or the other. I've read both. They're the same book, but written differently. I think I prefer The Slight Edge personally, but I love The Compound Effect. It's a little bit, it's a simpler read, even though it's the same concept. If you're struggling with time management, you want to bust out Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. If you're trying to build a team, you might want to developing the leaders within you, The Leader Within You by John Maxwell, and then follow that up with developing the leaders around you. So there's all different things, and you want to ask for suggestions. And I'm going to post tonight when we're done a graphic I've posted before of just suggested titles, so that you guys have something to go to for when you're struggling with confidence. This is the book. When you're struggling with this is a great book. It's from Lindsay Matway. She made it, who's the leader of the Bombshell Dynasty, who's our big umbrella team. So that's the first thing you can do, is personal development, making sure what you're reading pertains to your current struggle. Second thing, start tracking now. Even if you weren't tracking before and you've no idea, you're sitting here thinking to yourself, oh, I can't believe that I'm doing this work, I'm doing these great posts, and still at Success Club 0 and it stinks, but you have nothing to look back to. Okay, move on. Let's start tracking now. The end. Next thing, invites. They're the thing that are going to build your momentum the most. If you're doing 3 a day and not having success, try 5. If your wording isn't great, or if you think maybe it's your wording, send it to your coach, send it to me, and we'll tweak it to see if we can't get at least a better response from people. I said on the Team Resurrection team call that when I changed my last sentence to, would you be interested in hearing more about it, as opposed to joining me, I get a better response rate of just people saying no. And I love that, because then I can open the conversation to, cool, well, how was your wedding? Or I totally get it. I didn't have the money when I started either. When you have the money, I'll be here. And then they remember that I didn't make them feel weird or pressure, but I actually had that conversation, which is so key. So no invites, how many and what do they say? Those can change your momentum. Another thing, which kind of falls into personal development, is get your booty on YouTube. Find coaches that you connect with. I personally I love Chelsea Pearson is somebody that I connect with because she had a big weight loss. I love Chalene Johnson's YouTube videos, of course, but there's coaches in this network that have free trainings out there. And to be 100% honest, I get my ideas from those all the time. I still watch them. And when I was learning this business, that's all I freaking did. I did at least watched a team call from YouTube, whether it was my coach, my coach's coach, or someone else on a totally other team in the network. Every day I watch something. Scotty Hobbs is Scottie, Hobbs, Hobbs, has a really good YouTube channel if you connect with men. Caleb Thomas is hysterical. Lindsay Matway has a ton of training available. Melanie has some up there. I also like to go to the coaches outside the Bombshell Dynasty. So people like Chelsea Pearson's one of them. Christina Delgado with the K. She's great. But all different people. So start finding trainings for outside of what we're giving you on our team and seeing if you're getting new ideas. Because when you're only listening to two people's calls, you're getting only two people's ideas. But if you can expand, and just because you hear on a call, if I tell you I do 10 invites 4 days a week, that's because that's what works for me. But that might not work for you. So you have to take bits and pieces of what every person is saying and make it fit your business, what I want you to look like. And the last thing about building your momentum is to take a look at your Facebook. Are you sharing your life, or are you just sharing your business and your beach body? So a lot of people on this team are so good at incorporating the two and sharing free workouts for people, incorporating their family. Sometimes I think it's important that people know that we are Beachbody coaches and we love the product and we do share those things. But a lot of times I have better success only talking about my workout as opposed to my 21-day fix workout. And that drives a little more traction. And then I can just do my invite and present it that way. I love the husband and wife fun videos with their kids. And people it's not a Beachbody workout that people are doing, but people love to watch it and they know they can come to you for advice. So those kind of things, sharing that. But also, are you sharing the other parts of your life? Are you sharing? Sometimes my silly posts are what give me big traction, and then I throw a right hook post when I know that I have a lot of people coming to my page. So say I post a picture of Liam that gets 110 likes. That night, whenever I'm coming up in everyone's newsfeed, that's when I'm going to invite to a challenge group, because I already know people are coming to my page. I've figured out over time that I don't have successful posts at 3 p.m. Never. Never, never, never. My friends that don't have kids are at work still, and they're not on their lunch break. And my friends that do have kids are getting them off the bus, getting them up from naps, all that stuff. So my best posts are early and late for me and my friends network. And that I've learned through trial and error. So I might post something almost identical. And if you don't know this, here's what you're going to do. Find something that you know people are going to like. A picture of your family, some great recipe, something. Post it tomorrow when you think you might have good traction. See how many likes it gets. The next day, find something similar, another good recipe, another good family picture, whatever. Post it at a different time and see which one gets more traction. And that's going to be a really minute example, a little microcosm of what your page traction looks like. Does that mean it's 100% fail safe if you do it once. No, but you'll start to look for those trends. And then a bonus tip is that when you're ready to start investing money into your business and you have a like page, start to learn how to run Facebook ads. This is something that I've experimented with in the past, and I haven't gone all in because, to be 100% honest, I'm an expert at my personal page, and I haven't had the time to really dig into my like page yet. So I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I do know a lot of experts, and a lot of them run Facebook ads on the weekends because people will like their page. It just pops up in their newsfeed just like it does on yours, and you click like, or they'll either boost a post or promote their page. And you can do it for as little as, I believe, $5 a day. So what you could do if you wanted to is, and you can pick when it runs. So you could run it once a week on a Sunday, which has a lot of traction because people usually, have their sports and stuff on Saturday, and then Sunday's more of a day at home for a lot of people, depending on your market. And you might say, okay, I'm going to try to run one Facebook ad a week for a month and see how many likes I get for my like page and if it's worth it. Because if you're investing $20 a month in that page, but you end up with a challenge pack from a cold customer, someone that you've never known before, even if it's only 140, you have made your money back and then doubled it, So those are kind of things that you can start to experiment with, but I would never say you have to do. You do have to invest, just like if you owned a Moe's or, Moe's Southwest Grill costs, like, I want to say in and out is $750,000 to open a Moe's grill. The Welcome to Moe's. It's like a taco place or whatever if you don't have one. Anyway, so people invest to make money. And that's kind of like what you have to realize sometimes with this business. Just like maybe if your husband has a Shakeology order that he doesn't drink, like mine didn't in the beginning. I just bought a challenge pack under his name, used the program as a giveaway, and I got packets. And every month I worked really hard to try to get 3 people to buy a 7-day trial for $40, because then I would make that investment back that I was investing. It was $15.95 for his coach fee, $100 for his Shakeology. If I could sell 3 7-day trials for $40 a piece, I made that $120 back, and I helped people realize what Shakeology could do for them. And this is a total sidebar, but I learned early that I will never sell Shakeology to anybody in less than a 5-day trial. So now I'm leaning towards 7. But the first day, you never nail the recipe. It's always a little weird. The second day, you have to get used to it, and then you don't really feel the benefits, and you get that energy boost a few days in. So I don't like to give people like one packet. And I also don't do giveaways, because whenever people aren't invested in something, they don't care. So they'll make it haphazardly, try it, and be like, that was dumb. So I've made those mistakes, so I would encourage you not to. So anyway, okay, so back to momentum. Sorry for my sidebar. So basically, what I want you to take away from this call is really simply that you have the power to build your momentum in your small daily actions. And if you're doing the things that you're doing every day, and you might be, but you're not having that momentum, 2 things. 1, reflection. What can you change? What can be better? What could be different? What can you experiment with? I don't know one successful person that hasn't experimented. And I don't call it failure. I call it experimentation, because how would we know what does work if we don't know what doesn't? Pretty simple. If you are great at videos, maybe try posting them a different time of day and see if they get more traction. Things like that to boost you up. And then so reflection, tracking, that kind of stuff, everything we talked about. And the second thing with momentum is that I said you have the power to build it. I do this all the time in my real life too. My poor friends. So with your momentum, you have the power to build it, and you have the power to change it, is my takeaway. Do your tracking, do your invites. If you're doing everything on paper, if it all looks like it's there and it's just not happening, rest assured that it will come out the other side of that pipeline. But until it starts, you might have to work a little harder just till you get over that hump. Even if you're doing 3 invites a day, 5 days a week, maybe you do 5 invites a day, 3 of those days, and 3 the others. Brigitte Linford, who I really like, she's a coach that overcame depression and anxiety and was actually in a mental hospital. It was in a psychiatric unit of a hospital with severe depression and all this stuff. And Beachbody came into her life when her husband they were bankrupt, and he was working 3 jobs, and she was staying home with their little kids. And that's just her background. But she, oh my God. So she was, inviting, and Brigitte, her story, I did it again. I'm losing my mind. Is this early Alzheimer's? So she has she calls it a 20-mile marker, and she doesn't go a day without hitting that mile marker ever. So what that it's there's a story about a people that hiked, and the people that made it farther across Antarctica on this trek are the ones that went, instead of trying to go 60 miles at once and then none the next day, they just went 20 miles at a time. And so that's kind of the thing with momentum is, yes, it feels slow. And yes, just 20 miles at a time feels like nothing, or 3 invites at a time feels like nothing, and you're never going to get there. But you will get there, but you just have to keep doing it. And one of her big things she teaches her team, and this is what I was going to originally say, is that being a coach is a numbers game. That's how she looks at it. When she started her business, and she's now a 15-star diamond, top 10 coach. When she started her business, she had 100 Facebook friends. And basically her message is, if you work harder, you'll find enough people. If you're friending people and inviting people every day, they eventually fall through. If you invite enough people, somebody's going to say yes. It's basically what she teaches her coaches. And honestly, it is true, but it's hard to hear sometimes because you're thinking like, dang, I do a lot already, and I'm in the beginning of this business, and I'm working a lot for a little. You just have to keep your eye on that prize and put your blinders on, and sometimes stop and think, okay, close your eyes and envision that end goal for you and your family. Is that worth what you're doing now to get there later? And I know for you guys that it is. I know that it is. So with that being said, I appreciate all of you for listening and being here on this call. I apologize for my scatterbrainedness. I actually made notes about all this, and then I threw them out because my mom brain is bad. So that was from memory. I think I did pretty good. But I just want to, Alicia, if you have any questions, we can answer them now. And if not, we'll boogie. But I want everyone to make sure they're doing their tracking. That's the one big thing. So instead of a bigger call to action, I just want I want to see everyone's tracker that they're using on Wednesday. You can text it to me, send it to me a Facebook message, post it on our team page wall, whatever works, email, whatever. But let's look at it and see, what you did and what you could do better. I have a big fat 0 next to invites for yesterday and today, and that's because I spent the weekend at a Dave show and then today with my family relaxing. And that's okay. That's why we're here, so that we have those opportunities and those luxuries. So, do you have any questions? Okay, I'm going to stop recording, but thank you for listening. Thank you for being on the call tonight. And I'm here for you guys, whatever you need. So I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.